Hello everyone and welcome to the third part of our series video production for the solopreneurs. The previous two episodes we talked about from ideas to videos and basic storyboarding. So you probably noticed there's a smartphone in front of me right now because I'm going to be talking about practical smartphone videography. And on the next part of our series, we're going to be editing the actual video that we're filming right now. My name is Robert, I'm a content creator and my passion is to help you become content creators. So if you have been following our video episodes, which we do weekly, you would probably know by now that we are an advocate of solo entrepreneurs and for them to learn doing and producing their own content, whether it's video or it's design or it's photography. We really wanted to, transform entrepreneurs to become content creators themselves. Not only would that be cost effective, but the journey of creating your own content is really amazing and it's priceless. So let's jump straight to our topic today. So I'm gonna be sharing you a few practical tips on what you can take note when you're filming using your smartphone camera. Not many of you would probably have access to expensive cameras. I happen to have a light setup and the usual microphone that I have clipped on me when I do my video episode, and I have another camera filming this episode while I'm demonstrating how to actually film using a smartphone, which is an iPhone in front of me. So the first tip that I have for you right now is when you film your video episode, make sure that you have a gap, a buffer of, let's say, 3 to 5 seconds for the beginning of your shot. It means from the moment you press record, there should be a gap of 3 to 5 seconds before you start talking. Okay, we cannot really emphasize it right now, but when we go to editing, you would understand why it's important to have a gap at the beginning and towards the end of your video. It helps the editing process more seamless. It gives you opportunity to transition from any introduction. If you have a branded animation as an intro to your video, is really helpful for you to have a transition. Okay, my next tip for you is make sure the camera of your smartphone, you would have that same level in where your eye is, so that when you look at the camera, it gives it, a less awkward composition, and it would, help you to really connect to your audience when you film it properly. The third practical tip that I want to share with you is the rule of thirds. If you have done any photography before, or if you have friends who's doing photography, the rule of thirds is one of the most popular composition rules when capturing images using cameras. Okay? But for videos, it's also helpful. Why? Because as you would notice when I demonstrate these tips later, it gives you that space either on the left of your screen or on the right of your screen, to show a bit of visuals, either text, images, or even video captions. Because if you have seen some of our videos, we have discussed more than once that it's important to have supporting footage when you're doing videos, no matter how short or how long your video is. Another practical tip that I have for you is if you don't have a microphone like I'm using right now, as you would notice my audio is a bit clearer, make sure that your distance between where you're seated and where your camera is, it's close enough to capture clear audio. But if you really want to make your audio clear, you can invest on microphones and audio recorders, shotgun microphones for smartphones. There are a lot of affordable choices for you out there. Last but not the least, when people use their smartphones to capture video, especially using the front lens, not the back lens, so the tendency is for them to look at the screen of the smartphone, which would result like in an awkward, slightly not aligned footage. So make sure you're looking straight where your lens is. So right now I'm gonna demonstrate the use of these practical tips that I shared you just to wrap up this episode, and stay tuned for the next episode because we're gonna be going straight to editing this exact video that I'm filming. Okay, let me just set up my smartphone. So I am now on the selfie mode. I hate to call it that way, selfie mode. So I'm filming using the front camera of my smartphone. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to video. So to demonstrate this properly, I'm gonna be recording an actual video snippet using my smartphone camera. So let me just press record, and we're gonna be having the 3 to 5 second gap at the beginning of the video. Okay, now that we're recording, we have set it aside, the first 3 to 5 second gap at the beginning of the video. As you would notice, right now I'm filming using my smartphone and using the front camera of my smartphone. So the tips that I mentioned a while ago is, you know, the level of your smartphone, the lens of your smartphone should be in the same level of your eye, which I have right now. And the rule of thirds is I have like a space here on this side of my screen right now. So I'm gonna demonstrate on the editing on the episode where I'm gonna be showing you how to edit. I'm gonna demonstrate how you can use this space, you know, to put graphics or to put visuals. So I'm also gonna demonstrate how my smartphone is picking up my sound. So this is how my lapel mic sounds like, and this is how the microphone from my camera sounds like. So you would notice the distinction. So having a lapel mic is really, it's better. The quality of your audio would be really obvious. Okay? So right now I want to demonstrate to you the part which I said you should be looking at the lens of the camera. So right now I'm looking at the lens of the camera, and right now I'm looking at the screen of my phone. So you would notice that there's a bit of an alignment problem, because if I'm gonna look at my smartphone screen, you know, I'm gonna look like I'm looking, you know, in a different angle. So I have to go back and look at specifically at my lens. So ending this video, I would have another 3 to 5 second gap towards the end, and in that way, you know, I would be able to explain to you when you go to editing why this is important. I'm gonna stop the recording and I'm gonna go back to my Osmo Pocket to wrap up today's episode. So I hope you learned something from this very short and practical video episode, and I hope from the past few episodes of our series you've been, you know, getting a lot of information, and if you're able to put this into practice, it will really make your video production really, you know, enjoyable, and be able to really reach to a certain level of your video production that you would notice that you're getting better and better each day. So good luck on your video production, and I hope to see you on my next videos.